Nick, can you pop off some filmmaker Q&A for us, sir?
Yeah, I will, because I actually have one. My first question actually has multiple parts, and I'm hoping that Brad will be able to answer these questions for our audience here. You ready for this?
Let's go.
Number one, name a professional football player who in his senior year in high school rushed for 970 yards and scored 7 touchdowns.
O.J. Simpson.
No.
Damn.
Name a professional football player who, while playing for the New York Jets, caught a field goal attempt that came up short and returned it for 97 yards.
Marshall the Bull Starks, my father. Thank you, guys. That's
And just so you know, gentlemen, that was the answer to the first question as well. In his senior year in high school, he rushed for 970 yards and
Nick,
scored 7 touchdowns.
The only person who could have told me that would have been my mother, and she doesn't even know that, brother. So thank you. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, and I've got one last one. Name a professional football player who was the starting safety for the 1971 Central States Football League champions?
That's my dad.
You got it.
There you go.
And check this out, Brad. I don't know if there's any significance to the number 97. I honestly don't. But listen to this again. In his senior year in high school, he rushed for 970 yards. While playing for the New York Jets, caught a field goal attempt that came up short and returned it 97 yards. Was the starting safety for the 1971 1971 Central States Football League champions.
Man,
number followed him around.
I don't know if that.
Chocolate melts, guys. I'm sorry. The clamps over here.
Yeah, man. Your father.
I'll share something really quick because this is just a great conversation. And again, guys, I can't thank you enough for having me on the show. I'm a huge fan, and I mean, man,
thank you.
Those are that's crazy. I think I told you guys sort of like early on, I didn't grow up with like a lot of money and that kind of like thing. And a lot of kids come up in like the Pop Warner kind of like system of football. I didn't have that. My father was the coach, and the first sort of like game of organized football, I was too young to sort of be on the team, but my father was the head coach and he used to play for the Jets. So of course, and I was the quarterback. I had no idea what I was doing. I had all of my father's natural ability already, and I grew up in the same house as my father. So my understanding of the game, by the time I got to high school, I had the benefit of sitting next to my dad watching every single game, and he would call the play as it would happen. So I had that. But it wasn't until I got into high school and they asked me, what was the last position you played in organized football? I was just like, quarterback. And I didn't finish the sentence because my dad was the coach. And they were like, oh, okay. Absolutely, positively one of the worst experiences in my life because it's like boot camp. And you don't know and just all the verbal abuse. And, back in those days, they wouldn't hydrate us during double sessions, toughens up the boys, give them salt tablets or like whatever, right? So, kids dying of like heat.
Give them Tide Pods.
Anyway, right? But so then I get put on the B team, and then the coaches actually sit me down. Now, Starks, what's going on? Like, what's going on with you? I explain to them the whole thing, and they're just like, oh, well, no wonder. First game, we're getting beat. I'm at the controls playing quarterback. I'll never forget it. We were down by like 4 touchdowns or something. Play comes in. It's a rollout pass. There's maybe a minute and a half left. I roll out. My receiver like tripped over a shoelace or something like that.
Bad news bears. I
see daylight, and I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. And I run it back untouched for 67 yards, maybe. It gets called back because of clipping on us.
Oh, no.
We run the same play the other way. Again, my wide receiver's nowhere to be seen. I run it back. it gets called back again. I did that 4 times.
Ooh.
And I remember, and my dad I could always hear his voice on like the sidelines. I stopped hearing his voice then. We went through sort of like the rest of the game. We actually won the game.
Wow.
After being down by 4 touchdowns.
Huh? Yeah. I come home. My dad's car is parked. You know, I come in. I don't see him. The television is left on in the living room. I'll never forget that. Television is left on in the living room. There's a cigarette that's just sitting in the ashtray that's still burning. And as soon as I shut the door, I hear my father's voice from my bedroom. Bradley. Oh, God. He used my full name. I got to be in trouble. What did I do? Brad, come in here. Go in. He's sitting on my bed, right? And he's just like, sit down. And in my room at that time, I told you guys, I was like, I wanted to be a fashion photographer so bad. I had Harper's Bazaar, GQ, Vogue, Italian Vogue, all over my wall. I lived in like this meditation of that, right? And he sat down and he just sort of sat there and he was just like, son, he was just like, he goes, I got to tell you, he goes, when I was your age, I never could have done that. What I saw you do today, Bradley, I could have never done that. I could have never done that. And I look around your room and I see that this is something that you really want to do. And I don't understand it, but you know what, son? I'm with you 100%. If this is what you want to do, I'm with you 100%. Now, that being said, when you get to your senior year, I'm going to push you really hard to play because you're a freshman now. And like I say, son, I could never do that. So I'll help you do whatever it is that you want to do in life. And he was true to that. And just to hear those stats, Nick, that just really takes me back. My dad was quite a guy. And one of the biggest gift my dad gave to me was he believed in me.
Amen.
And that is something that is so special for creatives or for freelancers like us, because you go out in the big world, you know, and you don't know. But my dad always told me, he was just like, son, you're going to get out there. And he goes, when I went to, my father got picked up and played for the Jets. He went to an open tryout that they had. And out of 1,500 guys, he and like 2 other guys, you know, stepped away from everybody else. And he said, you're gonna get to Europe, Brad, and you're gonna find out just like I found. You're gonna get out there on the field. There are guys out there that can hold your jock. You are good. Go with that. And Brad, if it doesn't work out, just come back home, and then you're gonna go back out there again. So, guys, thank you so much. That was great. I appreciate that.